Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bomb, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y lo ponchó. Ponche de Alvarado, amigos. Oh, hello everyone and welcome to Phillies Weekly. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Jeff, second week in a row, we win 5 games. 5-1 last week, 5-2 this week. You cannot ask a better start to the Donnie Mattingly's career in the Phillies with a 10-3 record. It doesn't get it better than that, brother. How you doing?
No, it doesn't, Oscar. And look, I asked Don Mattingly today, you've been here for 40 games now. What's your evaluation of everything? And he felt like things are straightening out. And he said that before the game. He said that after the game. He said the starting pitching's been the key to all this, and he's correct about that. But, yeah, it does feel like I can just tell you in the clubhouse today, everything just felt right with this team again. Like they're getting back on track. They know that they're coming. They're 3 under 5. There's still a long way to go, but it's a heck of a lot better than when we were doing this show 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely. Today we have a couple of one was a co-founder of Phillies Weekly. I mean, we could say one of the co-founders with us, Tyler. Now he was there the first day with us. And then the other one, I always call him my MVP. I mean, and he will always be my MVP, Nick Piccone. We have him in the house. So let's bring those guys in. There they are. Look at that. The dream team is here. Nick Piccone and Tyler Poitras. How about that? Look at that. It doesn't get any better than this, Jeff. How about you, Tyler? How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing well. Happy to be here under positive circumstances this time.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there. Let's start the show with that. That's the most important thing. Without them, we would not be here. So we want to thank them, and we got to thank them every day for everything they do for us. So better circumstances, because the last time you were here, we were like 9-19.
Yeah, last time we were discussing whether Rob would be here still.
Wow.
Something.
Nick, it's all his fault. It's all Tyler's fault. How about that, man? How you doing, brother? How's it going?
It's good. I'm just glad we're not doing Flyers or Sixers Weekly right now. So,
Sixers Weekly, we'd be yelling into the void right now.
Wow.
I
saw like at halftime 16 triples. I mean, by the Knicks, some crazy number like that.
Thank God for the Phillies.
Look, I did the game on Friday, and I said to myself, you know what? I better spend some time with the wife and the kids, and versus spending time doing 3 hours of.
It's funny you mentioned that. Thank God for the Phillies. I felt today might have been the most fun game of the season. Like they took an early lead. You got 2 Schwarber home runs. You got a Harper home run. You got him early, and Christopher Sanchez was amazing. Like this game, it felt like it was never in doubt.
I thought for a second you were talking about the Sixers, and I said,
no. Oh, no. The Sixers were on in the Phillies clubhouse today, and I think everybody, including myself, were shaking their heads.
Look, I got to give it to the Flyers. I think the Flyers fought. I mean, the Hurricane, the Carolina is an incredible team. They might win the Stanley Cup this year. But, look, the Knicks, I mean, they're coming. I mean, they're coming, and they're playing much better, than they played all season. Are they for real?
But with all this talk the Knicks and their fans do, they better win it all because they talk a lot.
Oh, they talk a lot, and they did a lot too. I mean, I remember.
Yeah, they did. And look, they're really good. But if they want to judge, this is my judgment. Go
Nick,
win it all because they're that good.
How was the go back and forth with Knicks fans and you and Knicks fans?
I had nothing this year. Like the Sixers gave me nothing. So it was at least two years ago. I had 2 games that we can at least banner back and forth. But yeah,
But
they
the
got
fans
us this
still
year,
invaded.
man.
Like I actually think it was worse this year. The fans
And with the
invading.
Celtics, it's not as bad. With the Celtics,
it was the Penguins fans who still are holding on to 1975. So like they're more infiltrating my mentions than anything.
Oh my goodness! Hey guys,
Penguins fans.
Going back to the Phils. Look, 10-3 with Mattingly at the helm. Look, we talked about it the last time you were here, Tyler, about maybe giving this 10 games to Topper. They decided not to. They felt that they needed a change in boys. I think we got to give it to Mattingly. He's done a really, really nice job establishing the basics, making some subtle changes that we can talk about in the next few minutes to try to kind of let this guy know, you know what, guys, you're good enough. You just have to execute and begin to play better. So I don't know, Jeff, Tyler, and Nick. I mean, let's start there. I mean, what has been kind of our initial impressions of Mattingly? What changes have he made that you've seen make an impact on this team? Because we definitely are playing much better than we did before, despite the fact, and let's be very clear on this 10-3 it's not against top 500 teams. I mean, these are the games you need to win to be able to be in the playoffs at the end of the year.
Yep, correct.
I don't know. Let's start with you, Jeff. Your overall thoughts in terms of Mattingly and what you've seen from him in the beginning of his tenure here.
Yeah, I mean, I've covered probably 7 or 8 of these Mattingly games now, and I'm noticing different stuff pretty much every time. Like, I feel like there's more attention to detail. And look, Rob Thompson was attention to detail too, but Don Mattingly, let's focus on PFP more. Let's focus on defense more. Let's just give that extra time. I think sometimes when you have a guy like a hitter of Don Mattingly's stature, he could say to a Trey Turner, hey, you know what? I know you're swinging a lot. You can cut back on today. Or, like Alec Boehm. I think him giving Alec Boehm that 2 days, just kind of the reset. You saw what happened on Saturday. It's just little things, right? I haven't seen enough where I got to criticize. Like I didn't like how he handled the bullpen early, first couple of days as manager. But hey, you know what? That's fine. I think he was just trying to win games. I think this team understands his philosophy is if there's a chance for him to win a baseball game, he's going to win it. And I even think on Friday when it was 6-0 Colorado, I think he said, hey, look, these guys, they know. Like these guys know they can come back. And I think that's one thing I've noticed. They are coming back in a lot of these games. I think they're showing that fight that we all know they have. We just didn't see it the first 28 games.
What have you seen, Nick, from the initial, tenure here of Mattingly?
I think more just like solid baseball. We went weeks with just seeing like terrible fielding, terrible approaches at the plate. Like pitching wasn't great, but that was more like dinks and dunks, and here and there was like a lot of bad luck too on top of everything else. But even though, yeah, sure, not against the greatest competition in MLB, but it's a lot better to be doing that and getting more into form that way. Because if you face the Cubs and Braves again, I don't think they play the Cubs again, but
they don't.
You have that in your mind that, oh, I'm playing solid baseball. Like I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to worry about that. And, just maybe more of a support system. I'm not saying Rob wasn't supportive, but if you have a manager saying, hey, like you need to work on this, or like it might just hit different if it's somebody else that they haven't, heard the last 3 years. So
yeah.
I'm just happy that they're playing better baseball.
We heard more of the basics. You see a lot more bunting prior to games. You see
Friday is my biggest gripe, but like, hey, they won the last 2 games, so they won the series. I'm okay. Friday, that situation in the 10th inning is the biggest issue.
I agree.
But win the series, and I'm happy.
Better defense. That's one thing that I've noticed. We're playing better defense right now. There was one thing, Tyler, that maybe you can talk further about, and it's about kind of the Alec Boehm situation where he sat him a couple of days, and then he was with him in the batting practice, walking through him. Hey, they're not much better hitters that are active as managers right now than Don Mattingly and what he did in baseball. So maybe the fact that he was a player definitely helps. So your thoughts in general about what you've seen from Mattingly and some of the basic stuff we're seeing.
Yeah, I think him being a player definitely helps. The other thing that's important was when he was with Toronto as the bench coach originally, he was also in a hitting coach capacity where he was still doing both, and he was very involved with the hitters. So I think having the manager experience and that experience playing and as a coach is very important for the position players. Whether Don was here or Rob was here, I think either way, if Bohm got to this point, he would have been sat for a few days and reset just because of how prolonged it has been. But the one biggest thing I would say is before Don took over, I mean, things were spiraling out of control while Rob was the manager. And I think just having, a new voice is just important in general. I'm sure some of the players were pretty disappointed that Rob got fired because of their play. So I think just that in general has helped. And the other thing too is, he's playing Marsh every day now. And who knows, maybe that would have happened with Rob too, just because of how well Marsh is playing. But he's showing a little bit more confidence in some of these guys that play on a daily basis. And he's also not afraid to have that conversation and, give one of their guys a day off, like he gave Trey Turner a day off. And you didn't see a ton of that under Thompson. So I think it's a lot of different, small changes, but it's good for this team. There's a lot of veterans on the team. Don put a heck of a career out there as a player and as a manager, and it's a veteran team, and they're with a veteran. So I think that's important.
That's a great point. Look, it's very interesting. It's I think that the fact that he's a credible voice that was a player, I think is a different voice than the Rob voice, which was more of he was a player's guy, a great communicator, but not necessarily did not have the experience as a player, as a successful MLB player, winner of multiple All-Star games. I mean. Silver bats, and I mean,
who Don Mattingly is, right?
Yeah,
Don Mattingly was mentioned in an episode of Seinfeld. No disrespect to Rob Thompson, he was. I mean, Rob Thompson was still a great player in his own right for how far he made it, but Don Mattingly, you could make an argument he might be one of the top 100 players in baseball history. That's hard to do.
I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame, and hopefully, as a member of the Phillies, as a manager of the Phillies, he can make it to the Hall of Fame. That way, we can have some fun with it as well. So,
maybe it's TV going off right now.
Yeah, it's a shame Don Mattingly, the last 4 or 5 years of his career, and he was still a good player, but he had that Chase Utley peak where from 85 to 90, he was 20 home runs, 100 RBIs, 300 batting average. You name it, he got it. And then the power went away, and he stuck around, but I mean, he always knew how to hit. And that's the one thing I've taken with Don Mattingly. It's he knows hitters when he sees them. And he said this with Brandon Marsh. He says it with Trey Turner. He says it with who else has he said it for? But those are the two. Justin Crawford's another one he said. Sure. But he definitely knows that who can hit a baseball. And he definitely feels like these guys could turn around. He's willing to do whatever he can to make sure they do.
So let me share a few of the slides that I have here. These are the last 3 series. I included the Marlins one because the last game was last Monday. So it was a weird Monday game with the Marlins there after the series. That's a game we won 1-0, which tremendous pitching performance by Nola. Probably the best pitching performance I've seen of Nola in a number of years when we saw that Monday. The reality is this team have won 4 straight series. We beat the Giants, which are not a very good team. The Marlins are under 500. We were 15-20 coming out of that series, and then the Marlins were 16-19 at the end of that series. Then we went out and faced this week the A's. We won 2 out of 3 games. We lost an ugly game, the last one, 12-1, which was not a pretty game. I mean, that was was it the Painter game? That was the Painter game.
That was a Painter game. That game was over before the first out even came.
Yeah, we were like 7-0 after 3 innings, so it was not enough. It was a pretty ugly game. But we've seen over the last week some very interesting dynamics on the team. So we've seen some great pitching and we've seen some poor pitching. But there is one thing, I think some of the bats have woken up. I mean, this week, I'll show you in a minute. I mean, Schwarber, went crazy this week. He has 5 home runs. I mean, the guy went crazy.
Schwarber's on pace for 63 home runs this year, Oscar. 229, 63 home runs. I said this. Some fan was criticizing him for as many times he struck out. I'm like, if the Phillies get 229, 63 home runs out of Kyle Schwarber, they'll take that deal's a steal.
But what I wanted to show you here is look at the stat. Phillies. I put Phillies on the bottom right. If you look at the stats, look at the runs per game. We went from 380 in the Marlins series. We were at 385. After the Marlins series, we went up to 397, and that we're now at 415. So you can see that we're scoring a lot more runs. Look at our overall pitching performance. We were 26 in baseball at 475. Then we went down to 447, and then because of the issues that we had in a couple of the series, I mean, the Luzardo game and the Nola game, we did not have 2 good pitching performances this weekend. We went up to 457, but we're 24th in baseball.
But the bullpen was tremendous this weekend.
2 weeks, they're 15th in baseball right now. 2 weeks ago, we were the worst team in baseball, both in terms of overall ERA and in terms of starting pitching ERA. So we definitely have seen improvement. We're 19-22. We won 10 of the last 13 games. And look, is there hope? Look, there is momentum. The bigger question for me is when we face the Dodgers in a few weeks, when we face the Braves, when we face the Yankees, some of these elite teams that are out there, is this team ready for them or not? And that's a question that we will not be able to answer until we face some of these big teams again. Go ahead, Jeff.
That stretch of July, Oscar, you mentioned that. Like, remember coming out of the All-Star break, they play the Mets, and I think it's the Yankees, and I think it's the Dodgers all at home. That's going to be huge. And I'm curious to see where this team is sitting by then. Hopefully, they're about 5 or 7 games over 500 at that point.
Yeah, no, I agree. You can always ask us questions, and then we put it here on the chat. Let me share with you a few things. This is our pitching performance the entire week. This is our 7. So we had 4 very good games by Nola. Sanchez was incredible this week, by the way. Wheeler, he has 20.1 innings, Tyler?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, it's the most since Ranger Suarez in 2024.
Ranger. It made me cry.
Oh, by the way, faces the Phillies on Thursday.
Yeah, he's facing the Phillies. He's been hurt. He's been hurt the last few weeks. He has a hamstring issue, and he'll face us. But we had 4 great performances, 2 by Sanchez, a good performance, not the best by Wheeler, but a good performance by Wheeler, and an outstanding performance by Nola on Monday. That's the one that I was talking about for the Marlins. There is one thing that you should see when you look at these charts, and you need to look all the way to the right. This is the whiff, the number of whiffs per game. So you start seeing who has the best stuff and who doesn't have the best stuff to be able to strike out guys. And there is another very interesting thing that you'll see in there on the right around Painter and Luzardo. Look at Painter. 88 pitches, 51 strikes. That caught my attention. That means the number of strikes that he's hitting there is not good enough, and he had 10 whiff on that game. But look at Luzardo. Luzardo's an even more interesting guy. 95 pitches, 59 strikes. That means the balls are not hitting the strike zone, and that is a problem. But you can see the whiff that shows you the type of staff that he has. On the game on Tuesday, Wheeler had 23 whiffs. Sanchez had 23 whiffs. Today, he had 15.
Sanchez is pitching out of his mind right now, by the way. He's been incredible.
Sanchez, you mean Sanchez?
Yeah, Sanchez. He's been incredible.
He's been pitching out of his mind the last 3 years. I mean, we're
just
I
know. Well, yeah, but this is like him. Like today was an ace performance from Christopher Sanchez. That you needed to go deep in that game, and he did that. He was unbelievable today. He just looked like he had so much poise and control.
So when you look at their starters, I mean, I think there are probably 3 tiers that we have. Tier 1 to me are where Sanchez and Wheelers are. Those are guys you absolutely 100% trust. There is a middle tier there, which is a very uncertain tier, which is the Nola Luzardo tier, which you don't know where you're going to get. And then the last tier is probably Painter right now, which is we're going through our growing pains with him. I don't know, Nick, what are your thoughts in terms of the pitching and where we are with starting pitching right now?
I feel better about Luzardo long term than I do Nola, at least this year. I put Luzardo there, number 3. I like his stuff. He's been getting into this, giving up a lot of runs here and there, but as far as 162 games, I think he is a clear cut number 3 in this rotation. I put Nola number 4. I like obviously what he's done, had a couple good starts here, but I mean, it's just that bottom with Nola and Painter is a little shaky, but again, early in the season still, and I would like to see how the summer kind of plays out. I don't know if I'd make any drastic move right now because I think they're pretty set.
You can. There's nobody to bring up, and that's part of the problem. So.
I wouldn't trade anyone right now either. I think that's what it is. But Luzardo, his, giving up what did he pitch Friday, right? It didn't really bother me as much as I think it would have maybe last year. But I guess because we saw his season last year, he had a couple hiccups, but he came back strong. He throws hard. It's not like he's losing velocity. I think, his bad starts don't affect me as much as a Nola's bad start.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Tyler, your thoughts on our starting rotation and kind of where you see them. Do you agree with those tiers? You think nobody questions the arm Luzardo has. We know Luzardo's arm is absolutely elite. It's the consistency. I think he gets into those innings where things, they're unraveled. And it's very, very complex. Go ahead, Tyler.
No, I completely agree with the tiers. Luzardo's very puzzling to me because I feel like if he just calms down a little bit, then he's fine. It's just those big innings just really get out of control with him. Painter, growing pains. I would probably give him 4 or 5 more starts of evaluation to see, what the long-term plan is this season for him. The problem is, as you said, there's just no one to really replace him anyway. So you might as well keep him in there. But if it gets to where he's doing this every single start, then obviously they will need to find a change on that front. But a lot of it is the fastball, which, I've been surprised that it is just so inconsistent. I still believe in it, but it's just been pretty surprising to me how inconsistent that's
Jeff, what are your thoughts on, because that's a great point on the Painter fastball, because that is a pitch that I think we're all concerned about, the fastball Painter. We know his curveball is good. We know his slider is good, but his fastball, I think command. I think the key word there is command. He's not commanding it.
It's definitely the command. Yeah. So I asked him on Thursday night, what do you think your command is this year compared to last year? And he said, well, it was better in the last 2 starts. So he's definitely chalking up to there's things he's got to fix. And he said, he was missing his command glove side the Marlins game. And then on Thursday, he said he overcorrected and went arm side. So he's got to find that middle ground. But to me, the fastball is kind of flat too. And I never would have expected that after watching Andrew Painter the last couple of years. He'd have a flat fastball. But yeah, I think he's still learning. He's still growing, and Don Mattingly he's another one, vote of confidence in him. And I think that's huge for him. He believes he's going to turn it around. And I think Andrew Painter's going to have the whole year to turn this thing around. I think he's a number 5 starter, and I think we got to treat him as if he's a number 5 starter. It's just, I thought the expectations on Painter were way too high going into this year.
I agree 100%. And his arm is elite. he has Wheeler type of an arm, a guy that can throw multiple pitches, can throw them at a very, except the fastball that is not moving the way it should move. So it's part of the growing pains. That's the way I look at it. And look, I think the most important thing is he cannot lose the confidence. And I said it on Phillies Fastball on our show that we do every day on 97.3 ESPN. To me, it's very important the time of what Painter does after the starts. How can he sit down with a Wheeler or a Realmuto or a Cawthon to go over what happened and how they can help him grow, and then apply those learnings on the next start and continue making the changes you need to make? Because the guy has an elite arm. He just needs to command his fastball. He cannot leave the fastball in the middle of the plate. I mean, you leave the fastball. I mean, look at today, Sugano. Sugano left them. I mean, a meatball to Schwarber. I mean, he's gonna disappear every pitch. He's gonna disappear every pitch at 80.
I gotta give the Phillies credit too, because they had trouble hitting Zagano last time they faced him in Colorado, and they did not miss him today.
Yeah, he put some meatballs in the middle of the plate. I mean, which is interesting. Let's go to our hitting. And sorry, this slide. I wanted to make sure we use the slide, including today's game. This was the week. This is the last seven games. Bryce Harper is at 1.568 OPS, 4 home runs, 5 RBIs. Alec Bohm, 5 games, 313 batting average, 750 slugging, 1.1339. I mean, he decided to walk up after those batting practice sessions with Mattingly. Brandon Marsh, I mean, what can we say about Brandon Marsh? To me, he's the MVP of this team offensively. I love what we've seen. I love his attitude. This week
he's leading the national. He's leading all baseball in batting average.
No. Look at this week, Jeff. 519.
I know what I'm saying, but for the whole year, 353. That's insane. You would never guess that out, Brandon Marsh.
Yeah, I mean, the batting champ right now. And then you see Schwarber there with his 5 home runs and 7 RBIs. The guy's a monster. I mean, the guy's a monster. And then Crawford, and then Bryson is stud. I know we've seen some positive things about Bryson, but I don't see it all the way there from a hitting standpoint. He only hit 240 this week with a 749 OPS. Nick, let's start with you. What are some of your thoughts regarding where our hitting is right now?
A lot better than it felt like a few weeks ago, but I'll tell you, like, Bryce is really having if you could blink and miss like his numbers, that he's been that good. He definitely deserves to be in the MVP conversation right now, just based off his numbers. I don't know if by the end of the year he'll be there, but we haven't seen like a complete season from him, in a couple of years. If he can keep this up, like, I don't see any reason why not to be in that discussion. And obviously Bohm coming back after those few games off, huge lift. I think maybe that makes the people around him kind of relax a little bit. Kind of imagine being the hitter before Bohm and the hitter after Bohm. Like, you might think like the entire world is on your shoulders when you're in the batter's box. But like, if he can somehow get, right, I think that's huge for the lineup. I don't know if any of us kind of expected that this year, just based off the way he started. But maybe that rest was good for him. Trey Turner, he has his hot and cold streaks. Well, he was 0-6 on Friday, and then I made a joke Friday night.
4 hits yesterday. I mean, it was fascinating without practicing.
Yeah, I'll say he'll go 4 for 4. He almost, he went 4 for 5, but I was almost right on the money with that. But I kind of feel like whenever Trey has a terrible game, he's actually like the next game is good for him. So I kind of like expected that. And just Kyle, obviously, I make, some observations where I feel like I want the big clutch hit from Kyle or Bryce in the situation. If they don't come through, I get like super aggravated about it, because I'm like, come on. But yeah, obviously, like, the last 2 games, he's been a monster. Kyle Schwarber has. And, I'm hoping it's not just, the guy they faced today and yesterday, it kind of shut them down in Colorado a little bit, and they hit them pretty well. So hopefully, they have a different approach at the plate, that they're not taking balls right over the middle. I hate when I see that, but I know it's a baseball thing, it's not just a Phillies thing. But when you have the mashers, man, I want them to mash. So it's really been nice seeing like what Schwarber and Harper have been doing. I just hope they keep it up.
I feel like they're stopping to worry about the chase rate and starting to worry about
I haven't heard that in a while, right? Like,
yeah. Honestly, Nick, I think you're on to something there because I don't think they're worrying about the chase rate anymore. I think it's more of, okay, we get a pitch to hit. Let's actually hit the ball and see what happens.
Tyler, your thoughts on our hitting so far?
Yeah, after 6 games of the season, I was told Bryce was washed. So
6 games, huh?
yeah,
not elite. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's been incredible. Schwarber, it's still a little too much of boom or bust. We get a big game or an absolute nothing game.
And he's admitted that too.
Yep. So Marsh, he's just been incredible. He just keeps getting hits. It's pretty wild how he just keeps continuing to hit everybody. And, Crawford finding ways to get hits. And, Stott's bit of getting extra base hits and not really anything else is pretty fun. I mean, I'm enjoying that. But, the offense, it's in a good spot right now, as long as they've seen the pitcher, which the past couple losses they haven't seen the pitcher, or it's been years since they've seen the pitcher. So I think they're in a good spot
they're
now.
seeing Sugano for the second time, and now they're able to hit him. I mean, incredible.
Yeah. Although some people would like to say that that's been a trend the past couple of years, but it's not always that is the case. But it's been good right now. No big concerns outside of small things like Reyes. He probably should be in AAA, getting at bats every day. And but again, that's all minor, because they're playing Sosa in left field to get him in so they can keep Marsh in. But it's good right now. We're in a good spot.
But that's the key, Tyler. You just pointed out. Like, I think the biggest change is Brandon Marsh is playing every day, no matter what, whether it's against Rays or against lefties.
But I was going to say before, I think Rob would have gotten to this point too. I mean, I agree with how much he's been hitting.
Yeah, you just can't take him out of the lineup. That bat, like, he's too good. You're crazy if you take a 353 hitter out.
Yeah,
so let me go. We'll talk. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
He used to look completely overmatched, and now he looks like he belongs there with Bryce and Kyle against lefties. And I've been looking at Stott too. I don't think he looks completely overmatched either against lefties anymore. He obviously hit his first home run against the lefty, and it's just can he build on that? Hopefully, if they let him.
It's funny, Nick. We talked about this the other day on Phillies Fastball. He's a career 254 hitter against righties, and he's a career 252 hitter against lefties. So really, if you want to say he's overmatched completely.
We'll talk more about hitting in a minute. Let me kind of summarize kind of where we are after 41 games. We're 19-22. 12-12 at home, 7-10 away. We're 6-9 against the National League East. We've faced so far the Braves and the Marlins. I mean, it's who we've faced so far.
Yeah, I played the Mets yet.
And the Nats and the Nationals, which we beat them in the beginning of the year. We're 2-11. Very important here, and that's what we're saying. We're beating the guys that we're supposed to beat. We're 2-11 against 500 teams. Cubs,
but who are the Braves? But the 500 teams are playing. Are they just the Cubs and the Braves? Are they the only?
Well, the A's were 500 at the time, but then
they were in first place. Yeah,
they were.
Yeah. So that's where we are right now, 2-11 against. I think this has been pretty consistent over the last week. 3-3 in extra innings, 8-4 in games with one-run games. This is the interesting part. We won this week, and I got to give kudos to Mattingly here. 2 games against lefties.
Yeah.
We were 2-11 against lefties, and we won the last 2 games against lefty. We've won both games. So kudos to Mattingly in that respect. We're 15-11 against right-handed. And then we won after being 2-7 to start the year, we won the last 4 the last 4 series. Again, all of them are on their 500 teams, but remember, we were in the 40s. The Mets are at 31, minus 31. We're at minus 32, so they're catching up, and we've lowered this number almost 10 runs already.
Oscar, I got something for you here. Just while I see the run differential, so who would have had the Nationals at over 70 more runs scored than the Mets, and about 30 more than us?
Yeah,
it's incredible. I mean, their pitching's awful. But
they're a really good young team.
Yeah.
They're a really good young team. I mean, absolutely. And we'll see it in a minute. The next slide after this is is what you're talking about, and we'll refresh it. I've always said there are two things that need to happen every week, and if they happen, you're going to see 100% chance that you're going to see a green on the left on the score.
That's
won.
Oscar's formula. There it is.
This is the formula. 5-1 last week. You're in green. You score more than 4 runs, and your team allows 4 or less runs. Last week we allowed 3 runs per game. This week we allowed 4 runs per game, and the formula absolutely works. 5-1 and 5-2. There are weeks where we were ahead here, and then you at least score 4 runs, so you could have it. But every time where they're both red, I mean, we absolutely lose except the first week, which were 2 games. I mean, 3 games.
And you know what, Oscar? You mentioned the pitching too, like 4 runs per game. You take away that 12-run game, who knows, right?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, they gave up 9 the next night. So really, the pitching was really good this week too.
Yeah. I mean, except that the Luzardo game, which was not pretty at all, and then
yeah. Those 2 games, the 2 games they lost, they were the games they pitched bad.
So 415, we are for the year. We're scoring 4.15 runs per game. Last year, in the first half of the year, 4.44. So we're getting closer, slowly but surely. We're getting closer to our number. The issue is that we are allowing 1 more run per game than we allowed last year. 391 last year. This year 492. So we're allowing 1 more run per game, and that is an issue. That is an issue. And I mean, look, Mattingly said it. He said it in the beginning of the game, prior in the pregame show, and he said it in the postgame show today. Pitching is the key. Our starting pitching dictates, and you saw it in the previous slide. We win when we pitch. I mean, we pitch well. There's no way we lose those games. It's an absolute reality. So here's where we are in the standings. The Braves are flying. They just beat the Dodgers series, 2 out of 3 games. They won the last 2 games, and Strider looked yesterday. I saw that game. Strider looked like a Strider yesterday.
I don't think anyone is catching the Braves in this division. It seems crazy to say after 41 games, but I don't think anybody's catching them.
5.6 runs per game, and they have the lowest ERA in all of baseball after the game today. And then
they only lost 1 series all season.
What was that?
They only lost 1 series all season.
Yeah, I mean they're a machine. They're a machine. They're playing in full cylinders, and Acuna is out of the lineup. So imagine, and he has not been playing well. Imagine,
and you know what, Oscar? Probably the next time the Phillies play the Braves, they'll have everything clinched, so it won't even matter.
Yeah, and Swellenbach, is the other guy that has been out all year. So Phillies, Nationals, and Marlins, they all have the same record at 19 and 22. And then you see, Tyler, what was the point that you wanted to make about the run differential?
Yeah, just the amount of runs that the Nationals scored is pretty wild considering how bad their pitching is. As you can see right here, the ERA is not good, but they score a ton of runs. They have a good young core on that front, but the Mets have been so bad at scoring runs, and I can't believe it. I really can't.
I'm still surprised Mendoza is there, to be honest with you. He's a wonderful guy. I think it's the fault of the GM. You cannot let Alonso go and Edwin Diaz go. You cannot let your the top closer in baseball go and one of the top clutch hitters in baseball.
And not when you have all the money they have. They spend money like crazy. It's actually insane to me they let those 2 leave.
I think it's dynamics inside the clubhouse that force that.
There's a bunch of square pegs and round holes there with the Mets, and we saw it coming, but I didn't think it was going to be 15 and 25.
Hey Nick, make sure you tweet that to the Mets fans. Jeff Kerr said. Just kidding.
You know what? I don't see any of my responses unless you follow me. So I'll see if Nick responds. I'll see if Tyler responds. I'll see if Oscar responds. Normal people, forget it unless I want to pick the fight.
I will. Come on, bring them on. Hey, let's not fight. Let's fight against the Braves. Let's all focus on the Braves and try to bring them down. Go ahead, Nick.
Plus 87 run differential. That is insane.
That's wild. They might be back, but hey, that bodes well for the postseason. So
yeah.
Yep.
I kind of chalked up last year for the Braves as if it's just a bad year.
Yeah.
They're still good, and I thought it was going to be this way for the Phillies, so they started turning things around. But there's plenty of time.
They've had a
Remember
lot
what
of
happened
injuries
in
too the last couple of years.
2022 and 2023, right? I mean, they won the division, and then we came back.
Those
and
Braves
took it down.
teams were those Braves teams the Phillies beat were better than the World Series team. That's what's crazy.
Absolutely, 100%. So here are the projections based on the projections so far. So Braves are supposed to win 94 and 68. Fangraph, so their projections. The Phillies are 84 and 78. Mets 81 and 81. I don't know how the Mets are going to get to 81 and 81 if they continue playing the same way they've been playing. 84% chance the Braves are going to win the division. We're at 10, and the Mets are at 4.5. To make the playoffs, we're at 51.45%. And to win the World Series, we have to have a few. Look, Ward, the left fielder of the Orioles, might be available. If the Orioles continue playing the way they're playing, he might be. Tyler Ward might be available.
They're a disaster, by the way, Oscar.
Yep.
I know you follow the Orioles very closely. They are a disaster.
Yeah, Tyler Ward might be available. He might be an interesting guy to have here. I mean, the thing is, if you acquire him, then you're going to have to potentially consider putting Marsh in center field, and we know the implications of that. But Tyler Ward could be a tremendous hitter in the middle of this lineup. I mean, just like what we were talking about Hoskins and all of that, what he could represent. I mean, it's we need a right-handed bat badly.
So I'm going to say this right now. I know we're 41 games in. We're at the quarter point. I believe with the way Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper are hitting, you kind of have to go all in on this team. If they continue this, if both of them have 900 OPSs 40 games from now, I think you have to go all in. And you worry about Justin Crawford.
Here's where our hitting is. I mean, we need to continue to improve on a lot of this categories. So we're 22nd in baseball in run score at 415. We're 20th on batting average, 19th on OPS, but we're improving. All this will
this was terrible 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago everything was red. I mean, including our favorite. I mean, Nick's favorite line, which is the chase rate. That has been read since the Phillies name, I think, came into baseball. I mean, the chase
well, at least
rate.
with this group.
Yeah, but look at the whiff. So that means we're not swinging. I mean, we're not. When we swing, we're making contact. That's what that means. The percentage. I mean, the percentage of whiff. We're 11th in baseball. So, and then this continues to improve significantly. We were 18th a couple weeks ago. We're now to 12. So. I was looking at this stat I think since May, we are second in baseball behind the Yankees before the game today. I think Murph gave the stat out today during the broadcast. We're second in baseball after the Yankees. What was that?
Yeah, he did. The stat you're talking about, Murphy.
Yeah. So
I think we're first now.
Yeah.
And then Schwarber hit a home run today, and then Judge hit a home run today. And they're both leading Major League Baseball, I think, with whatever 16 home runs, however home runs they have. So very, very interesting. This is a very interesting, the right-hand side, which for all of you that have been with us over the last few weeks, you see it, right? There are only two hitters. The second and third hitter that we are on our lineup, our OPS is above the average. The average in Major League Baseball is around 720. Right now, this year is 720, 730. Look at the other. Our leadoff is a 616. Fourth hitter 618. Last year was 720, which was an issue we identified we needed to address. 651.
That was Alec Bone last year, who was the four hitter a lot of the season.
Yep, and Castellanos as well. So that's what they deliver, a 720 OPS. This year is a 618. So we're not where to be found, and this needs to significantly improve. That has not changed much. But one thing that we have improved significantly is against lefties. Right now, we are 19th. We were 29, between 29th and 30 all year, except this week. In this week, we're down to, because of how we have hit lefties, we're now 19th in baseball in OPS against lefties. So that is a significant improvement versus what we had before. And then the other thing that improved significantly is our hitting against with runners in scoring position, and you'll see it in a slide in a minute. So these are very interesting slides to see how we match up versus different type of players. And I think the Mattingly better baseball approach is beginning to work a lot much better.
I was going to ask you guys if I can jump in.
Sure.
Is that just automatically preparing for left-handers differently the way Rob did? Like, what do you guys see? Do you think that has, legs to it?
I mean, that's what's tough, right? Is it the manager,
or was it always going to happen?
Yeah. I think they're what's the term? Positive regression, right?
Yeah.
Like we always say regressing to the mean. They're not going to, like in basketball, we always say regressing to the mean. This is positive regression. I feel like maybe Brandon Marsh playing every day is a part of that, and the way Brandon Marsh is hitting. Maybe it's the pitch selection. I think it's something you mentioned earlier, Nick. I just think they're being more aggressive at the plate and saying, you know what, we have to hit these pitches. The pitches we see that we keep taking because we're worried about walks and chase rate and all that, I think come hell or high water, they're going to hit them. And I think that's what they're doing. And I think that's what it is, that positive regression.
I've noticed that too. And I don't know if the stats back it up, but it seems like they are connecting more on balls in the strike zone than, swinging and missing, if that makes sense. Like just by the eye test of me watching games, I don't know if the stats back that up, but I watch every game and I watch every at bat and I'm just like, oh, like they look more on than they did even last year.
This was not like this 2 weeks ago when we put this slide together. So this is the OPS.
Not all.
For the season. You only see 3 hitters that are above. I mean, you could put Crawford. I probably should have put Crawford in yellow there instead of
Crawford's probably yellow, I think.
Yeah, but Crawford is yellow. But basically, yellow. Crawford would be in yellow in the season. But we basically have 3 hitters that are hitting above average, which are Schwarber, Harper, and Marsh. Against right-handed pitchers, we only have 4 guys that you see them there, which is Schwarber, Harper, and Marsh, which are way above, and then Crawford is also hitting right-handed pitching really, really well. Part of the reason that Mattingly is not playing Crawford against lefties is look at his OPS, and I know historically in the minors he had a great OPS. Look at his OPS against lefties this year.
Yeah, he's hitting 068. He's hitting 068 against lefties in the majors. That's why he's not playing.
So 206. So basically, we have 4 hitters, which are Schwarber, Harper, Garcia, and Stott. Hello, Harper is saying that he's an everyday player. Hey, he's an everyday player. Harper, my pushback at you is make sure he hits right-handed pitchers too. I mean, in addition to left-handed pitchers.
But you know what, Oscar? I think we pointed this out too. And Mundo Sosa playing left field, I think, changes a lot because that way Bryson Stott does play every day. And if Alec Boehm gets going, you have to play like you always say, you have to play a Mundo Sosa 3 times a week. That might be the way to do it.
I wanted to ask you guys, if I can, looking at this lineup, is it possible eventually, if Turner continues kind of like struggling a little bit, moving Schwarber and Harper up and Turner number 3, and then put Marsh number 4? Because then you would have like your 4 best hitters, 1 through 4. Like, do you see that happening at all?
From my understanding, I don't think they want to take Marsh out of 5 to start. But you guys go ahead.
Yeah, because the problem is you have Schwarber and Harper that are lefties, and then Marsh is a lefty, and they're going to throw you nasty lefty relievers in the middle of the game, and you need. I mean, I never mind putting Schwarber leadoff. I understand the Turner Crawford connection there and the speed and all that and what you represent, but they got to get on base. In order for that to work, the only way it works is you got to get on base. How many? And I might have it in the previous slide. How many stolen bases Crawford has so far? 2, 3?
Is it 2?
Yeah, I think it was 2.
Yeah.
I think it was 2.
Yeah.
Turner
it's very low. Yeah,
he stole his 4th base yesterday. The speed game, because we're not getting on base, we're not playing as much of the speed game, so we depend a lot on the home run ball as we've done for many, many years. Now, one promising sign is the one all the way to the right. Take a look at the amount of guys. We are 26 in baseball in terms of at-bats with runners in a scoring position. 26 in baseball. But we are beginning to deliver when we have Stott has always had that notch to be able
that
to
clutch
hit.
gene, the clutch gene.
Yeah, the clutch gene. He always has had that. I mean, I remember so many times I broadcasted him. I mean, hitting those line drive on top of the first baseman to the line and scoring all those runs. I mean, so you see it. You see even
this
Alec
team
Bohm.
when they get runners on base, they do hit, but everybody's been focusing on Turner because it seems like he always comes up with those runners on base. But Crawford's getting on, like you said, Oscar. Crawford's getting on. Stott's getting on. Like if Stott comes on runners on base, you feel pretty good. Same with Bohm.
But Stott and Bohm needs to be hitters that need to get on base. They're contact hitters. We have very few contact hitters on this team. Stott and Bohm are two of those guys that need to find a way to get on base. So I don't know, Tyler, your thoughts in general about how you see here and how you see the evolution of the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty shocking how bad Turner has been looking at these stats because he's just kind of like Schwarber, has good games as bad games. But it's just jarring seeing these numbers. And I guess I'm really not surprised with anything else except for Bohm being as good with runners in scoring position right now. But yeah, maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's good on that front and hasn't been contributing to get on base to begin with. But I mean, these numbers don't really align with just the eye test. It feels like when it comes to runners in scoring position.
They asked me a question the other day. I was on an interview, and they asked me, who, in your opinion, are the three most important players for the Phillies beyond Harper and Schwarber, right? And I said, look, to me, these three guys that are here are the three most important guys that are going to determine how far the Phillies go in the postseason. Trey Turner, Alec Bohm, and Bryson Stott. Those three guys will define the future of the 2006 baseball season for the Phillies. Because those are the guys that need to, beyond Schwarber and Harper, that we know they will do very special things. Those are the guys that need to deliver. They need to take their game to the next level. And those are the guys that Mattingly needs to work with to be able, because we know what Summer is here, right? 16 home runs, the dude already has. And Harper is having an MVP season. So these three guys are going to be decisive to determine the future of this team.
You know what? In a way, Kyle Schwarber, I know the batting average doesn't say it's only in 229, but he's on pace for 63 home runs. Like there's going to be serious consideration for him for MVP if he keeps this up. I mean, we're not even in June yet.
Look at the numbers: 16 home runs, 28 runs, 27 RBIs. Outside of the 59 strikeout.
Yeah, and he even said today, he admitted today, like, yeah, I got to cut them down. And I didn't get the question, and I wanted to ask him, like, but when you're hitting these home runs and you're hitting at this clip, does it matter? And, I knew what the answer would be, but didn't get to ask the question, obviously. But yeah,
we got to keep winning series. We got to keep winning series.
It's like I said at the top of the show. If he's hitting, Kyle Schwarber is hitting 227 with 63 home runs, I don't think the Phillies care if he strikes out 300 times.
Now,
absolutely.
Oscar, one thing that you brought up, the three players outside of Schwarber and Harper, I just pulled this up from last year. I mean, in the one postseason series we played against the Dodgers, the only game that we won was a game where Turner, Schwarber, and Harper had combined more than 2 hits. So, I mean, that's the other thing, too. You got to find a way to keep these guys hot, or like the other guys do matter, of course. But if those three aren't going.
But those are decisive guys, because those are the guys, those are like what you would call, and I would consider Turner tier 1, but those are the tier 2 guys in the middle of the lineup outside of Garcia, because Garcia, I know what Garcia is. Garcia is a version of Castellanos. He's going to hit on some home runs here and there. He's going to produce runs here and there.
240 out of Garcia. I think anybody would take that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's who he is. But at 307 on base percentage, that means he doesn't have any. Yep. I mean, he doesn't get enough times on base. I mean, that's part of the issue.
He's a free swinger.
He's a free swinger. And look, but he's going to be a good player. Don't get me wrong. But March and Baum and Stott are the contact hitters of this team that need to get on base.
Yes.
And then Turner needs to support the same thing. We don't need Turner swinging for the fences. We need, those swings that Turner is doing it's automatic, right? Sugano threw it today. He threw him pitches outside of the strike zone, and he's just swinging at those pitches. You pitch him low and outside, and he's going to swing it through. Come on, dude.
I'm curious for a lot of the October watchers, and we know who they are. Tyler knows who they are. You know who they are. What if Turner has that year where he hits like 260 with like a 750 OPS and then goes like 350 with like a 1200? Does the narrative change on him?
In the postseason, yes.
Yeah. If he goes crazy in the postseason.
At the end of the day, we're in a transition time to make it to the postseason. I know we started very slow, but this team, there's not enough team. You think the Nationals are going to beat us? You think the Marlins are going to beat us? We're going to be. Yeah. The Diamondbacks, the Giants. We're going to be in the playoffs. The question is, how do you build the team? Yeah. How do you build a team to win in the playoffs?
Yeah, and that's what you're going to have to figure out over the next couple months. And that's what I do agree with some of the October fans. Yes, this team probably should ultimately be judged in October. Just remember, you have to get to October and you have to win all these games. And for me, if they get to October this year after a 9-19 start where you fire your manager, it's still a really good year, but we're going to judge them in October.
Correct. Because we know where Realmuto is. We know where Crawford is. He's going to help. Some games, look, I've been very surprised about how clutch he is in key moments. That home run on Friday to tie the game, my hat goes off to him. Not everybody's capable of doing that.
Yeah, they need that. That's
absolutely.
One thing they've been missing. Yeah.
So we'll keep watching this over the next few weeks and see how we evolve, particularly with Stott and Baum, and hopefully March can continue his hot streak. So here's where our pitching is. So we're 25th overall in ERA, 27th. We were at 470 in starting pitching, and because of the Painter and Luzardo game, we went up to 502 again. As I told you before, and I will repeat it every week, this to me is the most important stat and Mattingly said it today. How our starting staff goes is how this team is going to go.
Twice. Yep.
Yes. That number right there, that 502 is going to be the most important stat the entire year.
The games they lost, the starting pitching stunk. The games they won, the starting pitching was either fine or great.
Look, we're 12. Our starters are 12 and 15. I know that includes our dear friend Taiwan Walker, but those are where the
but those are the numbers. That's what we got.
I saw a stat that when the Phillies lose, their collective ERA in games that they lost was like 8.18.
That sounds right.
It's just jarring how bad they are in some of these losses. And I feel like, again, when it comes to like the run differential, like that is severely affected by these blow-up starting pitching outings. And it's not just Taiwan Walker, There's been multiple guys in this team to do it.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because like we asked Sanchez today, what's it like when Schwarber and Harper do that in the first inning? Sanchez made the joke, well, I pitched the first inning too, so he kind of set them up. Like, it is funny though, like the mentality of this team. It's when you got Sanchez and Wheeler back to back, you feel like you got the two, like Oscar did the tiers. Nolan Luzardo, I think, could do what Sanchez and Wheeler could do, but at the same time, he could do what Taiwan Walker does.
Consistency. As Nick said it before, he did it last year. He had those clunkers in the middle of the year, and then toward the end of the year, he was the best pitcher in baseball.
Because he can't seem to get out. I think where I had my blow up with Luzardo was that game when they played Boston. Remember in late July, they were up 5-0. He just couldn't get it out, and he couldn't control himself.
That was a home game.
And I said, this is unacceptable. Like,
was that Sunday Night Baseball too?
I think it was a Wednesday night game.
It was a night game.
It was a national game.
Yeah, it was a national game. It was midweek.
But that was the game that he gave up all the runs, and then he ended up going like 7 scoreless after, right?
And his ERA was like crazy. It was like 2.3, and his ERA went to like 3.5 because of that outing. Which was
and that's the thing. I think we're going to magnify. We're going to magnify Luzardo so much now is because he is making $27 million a year. He's a highly paid pitcher.
He's the chosen one, right? He was chosen I mean,
Over
it was
Ranger.
him, Ranger, and the team selected Luzardo to be the guy. And I mean,
I think it was the right decision.
Ranger is a dear friend, but I think it's the right decision. I think over the long term is the right decision. I think it will be very, very important the next couple outings of Luzardo and how he comes back out of this and show the real Luzardo. Because look, Luzardo showed me a lot last year in the postseason. I mean, what he did against the Dodgers was absolutely incredible. I mean,
that was another game. You didn't know what you were going to get, but that's what got him paid. That game.
Absolutely. Those 2 games against the Dodgers, my hat went off to him and said, look, this guy's the real deal. So
I'll tell you what, Oscar, don't you feel better knowing that you could move on from Ranger Suarez because you had people in the system already like Jesus Cesar? Like Aaron Nola, you couldn't do that. It was, who are you going to replace Aaron Nola with? Painter was injured. Taiwan Walker, you had the contract.
That's what the team paid him because they didn't have any other option.
Yeah, they didn't have an option.
Yeah, plus he was always loyal to the organization. But the reality is that, I mean, the fastball has deteriorated, and because he doesn't have the same speed, the curveball and his off pitches are not as effective. So going back and finding that 93, maybe 94, 92.5 fastball, I mean sinker, and then mixing that with a curve had been effective. It was effective last Monday. Again, to me, I go back and I say this, guys. We've been playing subpar teams. I mean, teams under 500.
Yep.
It's gonna get into.
And this we knew soon. That. Like, they said that after Rob got fired. We believe we can turn this around because of who we're playing. They kept. Multiple players have said this to me. You played the Cubs and you played the Braves, and they were 2 hottest teams in baseball. And the Braves are still hot, and the Cubs are still hot. They said, so, let's even the score a bit. And
here's another concern, Jeff. Keller, Alvarado, and Banks. I wanted to put them like that, and
Banks gave him 2 really good innings on Saturday. By the way,
he did. Yeah. But he's been very inconsistent. I mean, what? 16 innings, 26 hits. Wow. I mean, I go and I look at that number and I said, like, I mean, is this wrong? And I double check it or triple check it to make
Tanner
sure.
Banks was the guy you put in last season, no matter what. Like, this is the guy. If you need an out, Tanner Banks was the guy.
There are some games where he's just leaving everything in the zone. Like, and I think it's like the opposite with Alvarado. He's leaving literally nothing in the zone sometimes.
I was going to say that too.
But it's tough because even with Alvarado's last game, like, he was doing well, and then, he gets out of control. I think he hit a batter. Like, it's in there. And Banks, you see some of these outings where it is in there, and they've both had success in the past. It's just wildly inconsistent with both of them. Yeah. And don't even get me started with Keller. I don't even get it. It doesn't make sense.
That's a lot of money you're paying.
He does not even
a lot of money and not effective.
Similar to his Cubs time at all. Yeah. There's nothing about him right now that looks like he did last year. I think that's the most concerning part, especially with all the money they paid.
Let me ask you a question.
Thank God for Ryan Kirkering, by the way.
Just amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Kirkering is growing in front of our eyes, so kudos to him. I mean,
by the way, for those fans who wanted him off the team, that's why you don't get rid of him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, people do not think when they tweet. They don't.
Look, this is a special kid. This is a kid that has the capabilities to be a really good pitcher for a long time. I mean, you don't just go give these things away. I mean, the guy has an elite arm, and he's showing it, and kudos to him. Let me just give the name. Outside of Duran, who, in your opinion, Nick, are the 2 best relief pitchers in the Phillies?
Kirkering, and I haven't seen enough of Bolin and Shugart, but I'll go Meza because I feel like, he's already won Player of the Week for
the Sheriff.
Phillies baseball
network.
So I've already, had seen some highlights of him, but I know the ERA doesn't look great on this chart, but I think he's been solid.
He's been very good this year.
But hey, there's always time for that to change. But right now, obviously, and Duran's been, fine. Like, he's not this, I guess, shut down closer that everybody thought. Like, he gives up contact here and there, but I'm not worried about that right now, especially since he just came back from injury. So
I think Tyler's I love what Tyler tweets, by the way, but I think his trust meter when he does that for the bullpen, like my trust meter, that's kind of like how I feel everybody feels or how the Phillies feel. Like when did you tweet it the other day, Tyler? Was it Thursday you tweeted your trust meter?
I think so. It was right before Duran came back. Because it's tough for me to even put him on a list when he hasn't pitched in weeks, and then they're giving him a rehab outing in the majors.
Off a game, right?
Multiple rehab outings.
And he said he was going to pitch him no matter what. That's what was funny about it.
Tyler, who are your top outside of Duran? Who are your top 2 relievers right now?
I'll agree with Nick with Kerkering and Meza. I mean, Meza had like 4 horrific games in the middle, but he's been very good outside of those. Kerkering has been great. I mean, Jeff brought up a good point. I mean, you weren't going to trade the guy. And not only performance-wise and potential-wise, but he also had team control. He was one of the cheapest guys out there on a team that's filled with people with inflated contracts. And, I mean, when he came up, he was incredible. So, yeah, I mean, those 2 are definitely the most consistent, I would say, throughout the whole season, but it really just depends on the time of day. I mean, really, It seems like these guys change every single week. Who's trusted? Overall, that's where I'd leave it.
Yeah, I want to give kudos to Sugar. I mean, what Sugar had done coming to this team, I mean, and posting a 198 across 12 games. I mean, he's been
They have a decision to make because of Chase Sugar. They do. I don't know what they're going to do, but
I think the decision was made already, Jeff.
I kind of agree with you. Like, Zach Pop was in the clubhouse today, but I'm like thinking, is he even going to be here when
does he have options or he doesn't have options?
No, he doesn't. I think what they're going to do with him is they're just going to ride out that rehab stint for as long as they can, and maybe someone gets hurt. But I mean, he can't send.
That's the other thing. Down. I mean, Bolin has been hurt a couple of times already, and I mean,
they can't do anything with him because he's out of options too, and I have not been.
Yeah, Banks is the only one for the option left, and you ain't sending him down. He's like,
you can send Duran down. Right? You can send Duran down.
Here's the thing. This is what I'm told. You can't send the sheriff down, Tim Migsy. You can't just send the deputy down, Tander Banks. You can't do it.
No,
unbelievable, guys. Let's a couple more slides and we're done. Let's talk a little bit about the minor leagues. I thought this was a very interesting news, courtesy of the Phillies. The pitcher of the month with Gage Wood, our first round pick. The guy, his fastball is electric. And then the hitter of the week, Jeff. I don't know what you want to, Alex Binelas. So Jeff, I don't know if you want to give us an update, kind of on these 2 guys, and more importantly, we need to talk about Adam Miller. We need to talk about Escobar. We need to talk about some of the other guys, Rincon, and some of the other guys in the minors that we need to just have a quick discussion on.
I'm trying to tell a lot of fans this. I'm trying to tell them this all year. Go watch your Reading Fighting Phils at some point this season. You will not regret it. They got hitters across the board. There's one of them, Alex Binelas. He's like their 5 hitter. And I know he's pretty much been in the minors. He's tired. He's a lot older than these guys. He's 25, 26. But, man, is he helping out Brian Rincon? He's helping out Dante Nori, Caden Henninger, a lot of these guys. Like, he's another lefty, but he's just crushing Double-A pitching right now, First Energy Stadium. I would not be shocked if he got called up to AAA. I would not be shocked if Brian Rincon gets called up to AAA at some point because Brian Rincon is a higher OPS than Dante Nori right now, which I would have never seen coming. By the way, Dante Nori's having a really good year. But yeah, so this Reading team, they can hit. They got solid pitch. They don't got any, like, outside of Alex McFarland, they don't have any, like, prospects or anything. But, Alex McFarland had his, like, cup of coffee in the majors already because they needed the guy. But, yeah, Reading's a fun team to watch. And Adam Miller, he's not swinging. He's not swinging. He's not doing any baseball activity right now. I don't know what we're going to see.
Will he ever get hitter of the month this year?
In this year, no.
Ooh, Nori?
No, Adam Miller.
Okay, I think Nori's going to win one of them. I mean, his speed is elite. I mean, it's completely elite.
Well, you guys saw my video of his triple. He looked like he was barely.
He flies.
Going.
Man. He flies. Yeah. He flies. You know who told me that? The manager of the Italian team. He told me he's never seen a faster runner than that guy. I mean, it's like the guy's a real deal.
I joked to Crawford, who's faster, and he said after watching your video, probably him.
And last year I was talking to Mattingly Jr., the son, the general manager, and he brought up the name of Rincon. He said, "Watch out with this guy. He looks like the real deal." So
Al Padrique has told me multiple times. Al Padrique, Rangers manager, has told me multiple times. Brian Rincon is a major league shortstop. It's just, can he hit? Well, he's hitting now.
His name is Alfredo Pedriquez, by the way.
Do you know who else is fast, Oscar?
Who?
Johan Rojas. He's coming back.
Yeah, the Phillies could use Johan Rojas.
Yeah, they could.
When is the
bench option? He could run. He can defend.
Tyler, were you the jerk who pointed out that he was halfway done his suspension?
Yeah, I sent a request when he got suspended to remind me when we hit the 40-game mark. So
you send yourself on your phone an alert?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like if you need like any relevant or irrelevant Phillies news, he's the guy. Like, you'll find something.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's. I mean, if you look at some of the concerns, and I do believe that similar to Painter, you're going to have to ride with the growing pains. Is Crawford center field? I mean, he needs to continue to grow. I mean, missing the ball the other day. I don't know where the ball is. I mean, it's like, I don't know. That happens.
Oh, I mean, that was a weird play, too. Like, he called it right away. We're like,
it's happened to me. I mean, I've been out there, and I was like, I mean, I used to play.
It's happened to me. I played right field. I can tell you.
I was more like Mundito, playing infield, and then they put me in the outfield one day, and I was like, where in the world is this baseball? I don't know where it is. I mean,
it's so people don't realize, like, what a change that is, by the way.
It is a big change. It is a big change. And look, that is a weakness that, I mean, that is a concern that we have, that it's not going to go away. And to me, it doesn't necessarily mean bringing Johan Rojas and addressing it like that, because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because if you bring
I say this with Justin Craw, he's not as bad as a center fielder as those metrics say.
No, I agree. I agree. I think he's a solid center fielder that needs to continue to grow and will continue to grow.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I bet in a few years, a lot of those really bad misplays, if he's still in center field, just won't happen.
But here's the point, Tyler. Here's the point. To me, at some point, if you need a right-handed bat, I doubt it's going to be like Broxton or somebody like that. That would be definitely, you would put him in center field. So if it is somebody like Tyler Ward, let's just use an example. Him as an example. He's going to be playing left field. That means that you're going to have to move Marsh to center field. And I'm thinking postseason, right? I mean, what Jeff was talking about, the window.
That's the thing. It's the window.
Yeah, you got to go all out. And the question is, that's where Johan Rojas could play a role.
Yeah. And Justin Crawford is the type of player, just from knowing him as long as I have, that ain't going to phase him. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, they don't believe in me, or, oh, my career's over. No, he's just going to be like, okay, like, let's go win a World Series, and then I'll go do this next year. Like,
and I think the thing, too, with Marsh is if he goes to center field, I don't think he's going to be making all the plays that Crawford makes, but I think he's a lot more reliable to make more plays, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just
it's a
because
shame,
Crawford
too, because
sometimes just...
It's a shame
you need
because
an
Brandon Marsh
here and there too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like it's a shame because Brandon Marsh is a Gold Glove left fielder. That's how good he is in left, and we got to put him in center field because.
I mean,
that's
what's tough with the trade market, because you look at guys like Joe Adell, like he plays center field sometimes. He's not good, but he plays it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not good, but he can do it.
Center fielders out there.
Yeah, there is not. Broxton is the only guy that you would say he's an elite, and I doubt they're going to trade him.
And if there is elite people, a lot of them can't hit, like Jose Siri. Like, elite center fielder can't hit. So,
and then if you're going to trade him, if they trade Broxton, guys like Gage Wood will not.
Oh yeah, and Arun Escobar, they're not going to be here.
Arun Escobar will not be on the team.
And here's the thing: you might need Arun Escobar in 2 years because Alec Bohm ain't going to be here after this year, and Arun Escobar, by the way,
and Estad will be a free agent in a couple of years. So that's the other thing.
Yeah. I was asked about Arun Escobar today with Double-A, and I said he's figuring it out because he's getting more aggressive at the plate. He was too patient the first time.
By the way, the other thing is that I lost my train of thought. Oh, that Mundito will not be here next year
Yeah,
because
correct.
he's
Yeah,
a free agent. I mean, that's so. There's
He's
some very
32,
interesting
right?
things. Let's finish with a couple of things. This and what's coming up on the calendar. But Adam Miller was doing ground. I mean, he was doing fielding work, and we heard this week that he stopped doing fielding work. I mean, he has what we would consider, based on what's happening, is a pretty considerate back injury, and
this is a concern. This is a major concern.
It is a concern, and we would love to have more information and know more about it. We don't, but the reality that he was doing baseball activity or fielding activity and that he stopped is concerning, because that means they want him out.
Yeah.
And
this isn't like last year when he had the skin condition. You could laugh about it. This is serious.
Yeah, this is a lot serious, and I mean, we wish him nothing but the best. He's the outside of Painter. He's the top prospect on this team, and this
guy's going to be a superstar. Like everybody says, Kevin McGonigal. I'm like, well, guess what? 29 other teams wish they had Kevin McGonigal too. So
we love his bat, and we love what he represents, and his speed too. I mean, which is another big component. But his back needs to get straight, and I know the team is working hard on that. So, with that said, let's just go to the calendar so we can close it. Here's what we have: the Boston Red Sox, a team in complete disarray right now.
You say that again.
Yeah. So we have Sonny Gray on Tuesday. We don't know who the pitcher is tomorrow, and then our dear friend, Wednesday. No pitcher announced for Tuesday, and then we have our dear friend Ranger Suarez. Luzardo against Ranger Suarez.
The guy they picked over the guy they decided to see you later.
How about that? We let's play some fantasy here, some fantasy baseball here. Whoever wins the match, I mean, we'll give them the contract.
WrestleMania, man.
I do have an update on Tuesday.
Okay.
So Boston is going with I think his name is pronounced Brian Bello, who's been awful, but they're doing an opener for it.
He was a top prospect at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bello,
he's just been atrocious this year.
Yeah. You know who has Bello under his wing? What's his name? Pedro Martinez. Pedro Martinez. Have it on his wing. So it's something worth considering. So he's Dominican.
I don't know if you guys ever watched that Netflix documentary where they went in with the Red Sox.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's in that.
He was like the prominent pitcher in there. Yeah. And there's a lot of like mental aspects to what was going on with his performance. So could be that.
That's right. He was in that. Yeah.
Then the matchup of the year, Sunday, May 17th. Write it down. And after that, you can come watch Phillies Weekly with us. It's going to be fascinating. Zack Wheeler versus Paul Skeens. I mean, every time Paul Skeens.
Tyler knows where I'm going to be Sunday, and it's not in Pittsburgh, right, Tyler?
Yeah.
Well, nope. you know what's in town this week.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's going to be fascinating, guys. I mean, any thoughts, Nick, about how you see where the Phillies are, the calendar, and then we play a tough Cincinnati team that is playing much better this year, and then a very, very complicated Cleveland. Look, when you see Cleveland, it's like the Tampa Bay Rays. You better start getting worried because they know they're going to plot something to beat you. I mean, those are winning teams that know how to beat you whichever way they can. By the way, the Cleveland Guardians just traded for the San Francisco Giants catcher.
Bring back Jordan Romano.
Poor Jordan Romano.
I don't know.
Good guy. I rooted for him a lot last year.
Nick, your thoughts?
Wasn't good.
Just keep winning series. You're going on the road against Boston. Probably should win that series. Pittsburgh. I don't know the record off the top of my head, but I heard they were playing better. So hopefully you can take 2 or 3 there.
They're ahead of the Phillies in Oscar's famous wild card standings.
Yeah, they're hitting well.
They are hitting well.
And Skeens is pitching well, but
yeah. So
you imagine they would have been able to get
Cincinnati. Yeah, I've paid attention to Cincinnati quite a bit, so I that might be the toughest one here. Cleveland's obviously, but Cincinnati. Terry Francona is going to get his revenge again.
I always forget he manages Cincinnati. I always forget about that.
Ellie De La Cruz. I mean, he's a different player this year.
I'll tell you, I can't wait for the All-Star game just because I get to see guys like Ellie De La Cruz and Paulskins and Mickey Moniak. Yeah, we're gonna be seeing them all.
Mickey Moniak. I mean, do I remember that name? It's like I'm broadcasting the NBA games, and then I start seeing all these guys, McLean, and what's the guy, Paul Reed, and I start. These guys were all Sixers. I mean, what's going on here?
Julian Champagne, Isaiah Joe. The Sixers had a great bench if they actually knew
Harris. Harris. You look at Harris, and he looks like a different player. I mean,
he's always a different player when he's not here.
Unbelievable, guys. I mean, it's just incredible. Well, I'm glad we're talking baseball and we're not talking basketball.
I know if they trade Joel Embiid, he's going to win the title the next season.
You know, Tyler and I are going to. I'm actually upset the Sixers and Flyers lost because now I got to hear people overanalyze the Phillies with their Eagles mentality every single day.
Come on, dude. Come on.
It's always the people with the Eagles profile pictures. Always.
Yeah, it is. It's like, oh, no, you got to play to win every game. I'm like, just trust me, the manager is playing like that.
The Eagles schedule is coming out on Thursday, so that's gonna be another drama. Will AJ Brown leave? I mean, Jeff favorite topic, right?
Oh my God! By the way, do you guys know I had to do I had to create my own schedule, and somehow I did it, and I actually kind of want this schedule, even though it's not going to happen.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
I have the Eagles playing 3 straight home games in December. We all know the NFL does not pull that off.
Yeah, that's we need that. We need that so we can spend the holiday near home. So
and the Cowboys on Christmas.
Nick, thank you so much. Let me pull you guys. I mean, and Nick, tell us a little bit of what you're doing. We got look what we have in the house here. Hold on. This requires by the way, he bailed us out today. He was going to be with us today, but then he decided that he wanted to spend more time with his
I haven't seen Luke in a couple days. He's not even at the ballpark anymore.
The Phillies are hot. Look at that. Luke Arcady. That's awesome, man. Look, great to see you here, man. And then John opened his store today. So John Foley opened his store. I was there with him yesterday. We're going to spend some time this week. I mean, don't forget about it. It's on South Street between 24th and 25th Street. I mean, an amazing store the guy put together there.
I got to visit Oscar and then go visit John.
Yeah, let's support him. I'll be with him this week. I saw him yesterday, and I mean, he gave me a preview of the store. The place is fascinating. He had memorabilia. I mean, he has like the 1980s and I mean 2008.
He partnered with Hunt Auctions too, which is they're a pretty big local brand. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's some signs that there's a sign in red that has Broad Street on it. I mean, that's the first one I'm buying. So I told about there already that. So I'm looking forward to it. So let's support a dear friend, John Foley. He's a great guy, and he's been amazing with everything he does, and he supports us. So guys, so Nick, talk to us about some of the magic you're doing with Crossing Broad and some of the crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, you can check out my writing at Crossing Broad, write about the Phillies, Flyers, Eagles, Sixers, even the Union, but maybe not this season. But you can check my writing out there, and check out still Phillies baseball on Twitter and Threads or Instagram where they have the Player of the Week. So I'll be El Jugador de la Semana.
El jugador de la semana, jugador de la semana. Okay, let's promote that with Bill and Angel, which are doing the games this year. I mean, they're dear friends. Have always been, and I miss them. So
I help them out with that. So all the videos there are put together by me. I'm going to be working on one right after we go off the air that you can check out tomorrow on their social media.
That's awesome. Feeds. And who's the player of the week now? Don't tell us.
Breaking news? I'll let you wait for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll find out tomorrow. We'll read it for you.
I mean, I'll give it to Schwarber, man. Whatever we do with Schwarber, man, with all these home runs, I mean, he's crazy. You could not go run this week with Schwarber, with Harper, or with Alec Bohm. So after what he did the last couple of days, Tyler, tell us about all the magic you're doing in Phil's Tailgate.
Yeah, just trying to pull some stats out of the air that people don't think about, or honestly, a lot of people don't even care about. I think that's what makes it fun for me. But yeah, just doing that. I'll actually be at Citizens Bank Park in 2 weeks. One game in the Red Series and one game in the Guardians series. So got a nice work trip to New Jersey. So
that's awesome.
Gonna fit that in between. So
we'll have to get a photo together, Tyler. The Phillies Weekly crew. Yeah,
absolutely, guys. I mean, that would be awesome. Tyler, is great. Great seeing you. Nick, thank you so much for being with us. Today, Jeff and I will be tomorrow morning or tomorrow at noon with
tomorrow noon will be tomorrow
with Phillies Fastball. I mean, we have our daily show. We just so you know, we do Phillies Fastball every day at noon, and when we don't do it at noon, we do it live on Mike's Gill's show.
Yeah, on the Sports Bash on 97.3.
Yeah. Mike does a tremendous job. So, hey, guys, thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next week at 8 p.m. live, Phillies Weekly. How many games are the Phillies going to win this week? We play 6 games. Jeff?
We'll take a 5-1 week again. That'd be nice.
5-1. Look at that. I love the optimism.
I really think it's going to be 4-2, but I'll take 5-1.
How about you, Nick?
6-0.
6-0. I love it.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, if you say 0-6, you're going out of the department.
I'll go 4-2 with 2 horrific blowouts because that's what they seem to do when they lose.
Yeah.
I say 4-2 as well. I said 4-2 as well. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next week at 8 p.m. on Phillies Weekly, and tomorrow at noon. And then follow Nick, follow Tyler on Phil's Tailgate, and Jeff at Jeff Kerr. PHL, the man is the Philly guy for everything that's sports. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful week. God bless.
Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Scott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bob, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento. Swing y